So we're gonna be checking out this video from Pink Book Blessings, and she's gonna be talking about City Girl Judge Christine Peterson, one of the two. It's nothing new, but it's something new. So let's see what this is about.
I'm the first African American female and Democrat. Yes.
Any publications that you're aware of that ever acknowledge that fact?
I was never celebrated or congratulated.
Yeah, why do you continue to make a fool of yourself every chance you get? That's the former reality show dating contestant from Oprah Winfrey's network turned Douglas County judge. A couple of years ago, she made history as the first Black female judge and the first Democrat in her position. I wish I can say she did a great job to show voters they made the right decision, but Judge Peterson, she's been doing everything to show she didn't deserve the seat at all. I've been covering the woman I named the City Girl Judge going back 3 years ago. She was the first City Girl Judge featured.
Pause. That's a judge? Is that like judge behavior? Isn't being a judge a position of prestige, decorum? But we do live in the age of social media to where everyone thinks they're a star. Everyone thinks they're a celebrity, even normal people. But you get into a position of prominence and this is what you do? This? Wow.
Here. And 3 months ago, I brought you an update. The board completed a full investigation and hearing where they came to the conclusion that the City Girl Judge was too incompetent to serve and recommended her removal from the bench. Judge Peterson came around here in the comment section trying to get some attention under that video. She also took her case to the Georgia Supreme Court to avoid getting kicked off the bench. All I gotta say is getting arrested City Girl Judge is a horrible look if you're expecting the Supreme Court to side with you.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, the City Girl Judge was down to the bar in Buckhead and got arrested after hitting a police officer in the head.
Wait a damn minute.
Wait, I know, you can't make this stuff up. Listen, y'all, when the alert came to my phone Thursday morning, it said something about an Atlanta Metro judge getting arrested. And I was like, which one of these hussies done got arrested in Atlanta?
Wow.
Opening up, saw this, my first reaction was, I know this ain't who I think it is. It was none other than my favorite City Girl Judge, Christina Peterson. Now, Judge Christina, I know you like to come under my videos, but girl, don't get mad at me for talking about you. Nobody told your cuckoo for Cocoa Puff self to be down there to the bar beating on the popo. You're supposed to be a dignified woman, down there acting like a straight up hood rat. We're going to get into this ridiculous story, but first, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates.
Now with this, a controversial Douglas County judge who once put a bride behind bars landed in jail herself today. Probate court judge Christina Peterson booked into the Fulton County Jail. And Fox 5's I-Team reporter Johnny Edwards is here to tell us the details on this shocking development in a story that the Fox 5 I-Team has been covering for several years now, Johnny.
That's right. Judge Peterson still serving out the last year of her term, apparently having a night out at the Red Martini Restaurant and Lounge in Buckhead. According to a police report, she was, quote, under the influence when she punched an Atlanta police officer in the head.
After I had an attorney, I would have went to my attorney.
Probate court judges don't normally land in the spotlight, but allegations of bad behavior by Douglas County Judge Christina Peterson just keep piling up. Last year, a state oversight panel accused her of, quote, systemic incompetence after a lengthy judicial misconduct investigation.
So, this is not the first time I've heard it, but it still shocks me. Systemic incompetence, which means you're incapable or you choose not to do your job. One of the two. But I've never heard of systemic incompetence up to this point. You're incapable of doing what it is that your duties say you're supposed to do. That is crazy to me. But is this her? This does not look like her, but maybe it is. I don't know. Let's continue.
Recommending her removal from the bench. Among the accusations, hauling a bride from Thailand to court, then tossing her in jail because she tried to correct a marriage certificate.
Did you go to this hearing with any idea that you may be going to jail?
No.
But now, Judge Peterson faces the criminal justice system herself after her felony arrest early Thursday on allegations of punching an Atlanta police officer in the head.
The incident happened at this Buckhead nightclub in the early morning hours Thursday. According to a police report, the probate judge appeared to be, quote,
The red
under the
martini.
influence.
Y'all want to go to the red
The
martini?
judge was getting drunk at the Red Martini, where she allegedly had way too many martinis and got to tussling with the police. I told you a long time ago this lady lost her mind, and not just down at the courthouse, but at the HOA in Douglas County too, in her neighborhood. She's been a tyrant, cutting up everywhere. Cutting up so bad they had to drag this lady down to the nasty, filthy Fulton County jail. And again, this is a horrible look because they're still trying to kick her out of office.
And so she's under investigations, like Miss Pink Book Lessons is saying. And I've seen people come out and defend this lady. And the way that they're defending this lady is totally fucking ridiculous. The way that they're defending this lady, they're saying there were men around. Look, actually, let me back up. So the story goes is there's someone being attacked, and this lady supposedly came to the rescue of that person, which in turn caused her to punch police. So some of the people that are defending this lady saying there were men around. So why did she have to come to the defense of this person? But stuff is gonna come out. I can't wait for the footage to come out because it was at the Red Martini and I know that there's gonna be some footage that comes out. I can't wait to see that. Now, I'm sure you can't either. Comment, like, subscribe.
Case is with the Supreme Court right now, and they're supposed to be making a decision pretty soon. So yeah, this is probably the biggest L she can take right now in her failing political career.
A preliminary police report obtained by the Fox 5i team says an off-duty police officer working an extra job at Red Martini Restaurant and Lounge went to check out an altercation in the valet area, which didn't involve Peterson. There, the officer found a woman crying and tried to talk to her, and that's when things took a violent turn.
I want to know, who was the woman crying in the parking lot? Don't tell me the city girl judge was the woman down there crying in the parking lot. All I know, Miss Strong, independent, I can do whatever I want. Better not be down there in that parking lot crying in the middle of the cars out there with the owls. Don't went back crazy, knocking the authorities in the head. I don't know, maybe she thought she was more important than him because she's a judge and she saw him as just security or something. But I guess she messed around and found out, didn't she?
According to an arrest warrant, the off-duty officer struck in the head by Christina Peterson. It's just the latest in a long line of controversy surrounding the judge, soundly defeated in her Democratic primary last month by Douglasville attorney Valerie Vai.
So even though she's fighting to stay in office, it doesn't matter. The voters already voted her out. If she's able to somehow convince the Supreme Court to not remove her from the bench, this will still be her last year in office because she lost the Democratic primary.
At one point last year, the State Judicial Qualifications Commission had her facing 50 counts of violating the Judicial Code of Conduct, later reduced to just 20.
50 counts of violating the Judicial Code of Conduct. Oh, later reduced to 20. How about not having any? This lady, look, is actually pretty sad at this point. This lady got some mental issues. We have to look at it like that, and hopefully the people around this lady can convince her to go get therapy. Go sit down and talk to someone, preferably not a woman, because a woman is gonna care about how you feel. Go talk to a man who has no skin in the game. He's not gonna give a fuck about your feelings. Hopefully she has some people around her that will convince her to go get help. At this point, it sounds like we got something going on up here.
The committee describing her as, quote, spiteful and vainglorious.
Yeah, they got it. That's her.
Peterson, meanwhile, saying in a JQC hearing that the real tragedy is that she didn't get enough credit for making county history.
I'm the first African American female and Democrat. Yes.
Any publications that you're aware of that ever acknowledge that fact?
I was never celebrated or congratulated.
Anytime there's like a first of anything, you lost me. Because it just doesn't matter. If you're a first, and then on top of it, you're talking about, I was never celebrated or congratulated, that's weird. That's mental illness at its highest.
I can't. All they want is a party every week and pats on the back all day to help out with their self-esteem. Ma'am, you weren't there to be celebrated. The people elected you to serve, to fulfill your duties just like any other public servant. It's not all about you. It's about doing your job, which you failed to do. I already told y'all how she was out there in the courthouse acting like the city girl mayor Tiffany Teflon Tahoe, a straight up plum fool.
Now, there's more to this morning's story. Police documents say that after striking the police officer, Judge Peterson wouldn't give officers her name, with officers fingerprinting her at the jail, but her name not coming back on file. The report says she told the officers to call an Officer Cawley, who told them she's a Douglas County judge. Before her arrest, Peterson had been expecting a decision this month from the Georgia Supreme Court on whether to remove her from office.
All right, we'll see what happens as far as that's concerned. Johnny, thanks very much.
She was trying to get special treatment. Didn't want to tell the people her name, but got them to call another officer just for him to give out her name? I told y'all this woman was cuckoo a long time ago. Just silly. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started with it.
So yeah, this lady, please. Anybody that's around this lady, Judge Christina Peterson, please encourage her to get mental help. And I guess especially in the black community, she has demonstrated that she can get to a position of power. She went to school all those years. She became an attorney. She's now a judge. Besides the president in the black community, well, I guess you could be a CEO or something. But you actually, in the black community, you actually made it to the position of judge. Oh, you can't be touched. I can't tell you nothing. Oh, yes, I can. If I was in her family. I don't give a fuck if you're a judge, you're the vice president of the United States. If you fucked up and I see it, and if I have the opportunity, I will tell you. You have to seek help. But it looks like this lady is about ready to crash out. And I hope she don't. I hope she don't. And if she does, I hope it doesn't involve anyone else. But I don't want her to crash out. Please don't. Please don't. Please. Go get seen about. It's not embarrassing. We all have trauma. We all have something that we should talk to somebody else about who does not have a vested interest in our life. Not our friends, in her case, not her girlfriends, not your family members, because chances are you make way more than any of your family members, so anything you say is going to be golden because they think they can gain something from you. So scrap that. Please just go seek therapy. Coming from my experience, it helps.